Hi guys, it's Miss Russell and we are ready to color our pumpkin patch in from last week. Last week we talked about perspective. Sorry, this one's laminated so it gets a little, there we go. Perspective is where when things are closer to us, they are big. But as they go further back in space, they look smaller. And last week we drew a horizon line. You like my hands? That's tie-dye. I was doing tie-dye at the studio today. If you don't know what tie-dye is, let's see. There's some tie-dye right here. That's what we were doing. So it gets on my hands, and it takes a few days to actually get off my hands. We talked about how when things go back in space, they get smaller. And when they are closer to us, they look really big. So if I were to draw a pumpkin into this pumpkin patch, this one of course is close to us, it's really big, but if I were to draw one back here, it would need to be really a bit smaller because it's further back. I asked you guys to fill your paper up as a pumpkin patch of some kind. You might have added scarecrows and houses and stuff like that. And today we're going to talk about how to color it in. You can color it in, you choose if you use crayon, colored pencil, or oil pastel. I'm just going to show you crayon, but all of these kind of work the same. The colored pencil would probably be the hardest because they don't quite blend as well. Oil pastel would be the best. They really blend and do some fun. So I'm going to switch this out. This was what we drew together last week. To finish coloring it in, I want you to think about how when the sunlight hits something up top, those colors are usually a little more bright and vibrant, and towards the bottom of objects, they'll get a little darker. So if I'm coloring this one in, and if I stay with my normal pumpkin colors, which you don't have to, if you want to switch it out and do a crazy pumpkin, maybe you want it to be blue, you can still do this and make your pumpkin a different color than usual. So but I'll stay with the normal for today. And orange is what I'm going to go for. If I want to darken orange, I don't have to use black. I just have to think about what colors mix together to make orange. So what mixes to get orange? Hopefully you're saying red and yellow. So if I take some red and I take some yellow, I will create light and dark orange. I won't have to just look for orange crayons. I can do it myself. It is hard to make sure that you have an actual red if you are doing that. So this one's actually red. It's not red violet. Red violet's gonna be a little pink. So to do this, at the top of my pumpkin, I'm gonna start with yellow. And I'm gonna put that yellow, make sure you're pushing hard enough to really get some of that crayon wax down onto the pumpkin. This is gonna make that orange quite a bit brighter than the rest. So there's the top of my pumpkin. Then I'll take, you can't really see the bottom of this pumpkin, so I'm just going to do it to what I can see. I'm going to take some red and put it towards the bottom. I'm curving it because pumpkins are curved, right? They're not just flat. I'm going to put some next to this so that you can see what happens when I mix some orange onto it. I'm going to put it around this leaf some. Maybe that leaf is casting a shadow. And then I'm ready to use my orange. Now I do have two different oranges, a light and a dark. So I'll start with my light orange. I'm gonna actually go right on top of that yellow as I'm coloring it in. You really do have to push hard. And any spot that doesn't have yellow, I am gonna color with it too. Every now and then you have to kind of shake your paper, get those wax pieces off. You see my camera's shaking quite a bit because I am really coloring hard. I do want to leave some spots open. I'm going to go over some of the spots with my light orange. I'm trying to leave kind of an oval shape because that will make it look more realistic when I add my darker orange. So now I have my dark orange and I'm gonna add it in. I will color into some of the light orange too, to kind of blend them together. Looks like this crayon is actually broken. Every now and then you kind of have to shake your hand out. I'm coloring right on top of my light orange now so I can mix the two together a little, blend them. Nope, I knew that crayon was gonna break. It's like I've used it before. Remember how I was trying to leave that oval kind of patch? Well, now I'm going to go ahead and bring my light orange back in. I'm going back and forth between the two. Once again, I'm going to color my light orange right over that dark orange that I've done. I'm trying to blend it together. I'm turning my paper all different directions as I'm working because it's easier. You really have to go back over spots to get all those little bitty white spots. And that's why I have to turn my paper different directions so that my wax of that crayon can really get in there. Now, if this was oil pastel, I could really work at blending this even more. But the wax of a crayon's not going to do it all the way. You can see this spot that I've finished. But I'm going to do the same to all these other spots. I'm going to color back over it and color back over it. Then I'll choose some colors for my stem and all the other objects. I want you to take your time, completely fill your paper in. You can see on this one that I've been working on with some of my other students where it's completely filled in. Really take your time, have some fun with the sky and the ground, see what colors you can blend together, and send me your work either on our Google Classroom or Art Sonia. And I look forward to creating with you next week.